Hello and welcome to Medical Device Regulation, course BME 532. My name is Doug Ferguson and I'll be your instructor for this course. So why study medical device regulation? Why even go through this course? So my thought is that with your WPI degree, you might decide to enter into the medical device field. And if so, you're going to be interested to understand the regulations that are enforced by the FDA, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and similar agencies around the world. In order to use your medical device clinically, meaning on a person, on a subject, and to sell them across state lines, you have to follow the FDA regulations. So what is a medical device? A medical device, to use the wording directly from the medical device regulations, includes instruments, machines, or implants that are intended to prevent, cure, treat, diagnose, or mitigate disease. And remember those verbs, prevent, cure, treat, diagnose, mitigate, because you'll see as we go through this course that they're very important to understand what makes an actual medical device. And on the right, there's a few examples listed there, everything from a tongue depressor, which literally a piece of wood that holds down your tongue, while a healthcare practitioner looks down your throat, all the way to a very complicated EKG machine, or even software as a medical device, any app, for example, that meets that definition, that in that it's intended to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose or mitigate a disease, would make software itself a device. So this class is meant to give you an overview of the medical device regulations, everything from how they were created, why they've been changed through the years, what drove those changes, to how they're implemented today in medical device companies and how they're enforced by the FDA. We'll also see just in general how you take your device idea and bring that to market. So in terms of what your outcomes will be from this course, I believe you'll attain some skills that are transferable to other courses of study, as well as careers in the medical device industry. By the end of this course, you should be able to create your own regulatory strategy document, which really shows how to take a device from concept right through to being on the market in terms of regulatory affairs, in terms of meeting the FDA's regulations on medical devices. It also will help you create a timeline for that process. And I also believe you'll be able to appraise a company's quality management system. So if you were to walk into a medical device company, you look through their quality management system, with your knowledge of the regulations, you should be able to identify gaps in the FDA's requirements. And now a little bit about me. So I have a Bachelor of Science degree in biomedical engineering, and I focused in on biomaterials. And then I went on to get my Master of Science degree, where I also focused on biomaterials and biomechanics in biomedical engineering. So through the years, and I'll spare you exactly how old I am, but I've been through many large and small companies in New England, including Boston Scientific, Becton Dickinson, C.R. Bard, and a lot of the smaller companies in around the region. Currently, I'm the VP of Clinical and Regulatory at Beta Bionics, which is a startup diabetes treatment company working on an insulin pump as well as a bihormonal pump to treat diabetes. I'm also founder and president of my own consulting company, Metro West Regulatory Associates, which I started a few years ago. I am married to my wife of 20 plus years, Christy. She is a kindergarten teacher's assistant. And I have two daughters, Charlotte and Camille. And as of this fall, they are both now college students. My main hobby is art. These days, mostly watercolor. In the past, I've done everything from graphic design, although you'd never know that looking at these slides, to foundry processes in sculpture, so metal sculptures using different processes like lost wax process, cope and drag process, for those of you who are familiar with those things. Anyway, it's been fun, and I find art very relaxing and a nice thing to come back to when the craziness of work, etc., has driven me to the edge. My last comment there is just to
whatever you decide to do in life, keep your priorities straight, right? So for me, and um, I enjoy my work. I like doing it, but it's not my be all and end all, right? I don't live to work. I like to think I work to live, and my priorities there is in that picture there. It is my family, and whatever you guys do in your future, and just keep your priorities straight. Is all I can tell you.
So now here's your assignment. I'd like you to do something similar to this. Create an introduction for yourself. I want to hear about, what are your interests? What kind of research are you planning to doing, or are you doing now at WPI? What do you want to do after WPI? As well as what are your goals for this course? And hopefully I'll be able to make sure you get what you're looking for out of it, and any additional information about yourself you want to share. So you can add that to the discussion page. There'll be a page called Introductions, where you can put a little introduction to yourself so that all your fellow course mates here will know a little bit more about you, and hopefully we can work better together.